Survival tips for the apocalypse. Definitely. I mean, I wouldn't rely on us for survival tips at
No.
all. Yeah, barking up the wrong tree there. You should see how we live on tour. I think that's like apocalyptic living.
We're hanging out with Battlesnake today, talking about all things snake warfare, I suppose. We're joined by Daniel and Elliott. How are you going?
Wonderful.
Doing well, Rash. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad for a Friday evening. Talking to, well, people that are veered out into different parts of the world. So I understand we've got some here in Australia, some overseas.
Yeah. I'm already in. Well, I live in London, but which don't ask how that works. It does though. We make it happen. I live in London, and the boys head over to fly to Munich on Friday morning.
All right, and we'll definitely talk a moment about why the jet setting is jet setting. But to begin with, we're here to talk about the new album that you're about to release, Dawn of the Exultants and the Hunt for the Shepherd. Now, this, like your previous releases, has a post-apocalyptic, Mad Max vibe to it. But I also understand it's a prequel, so technically it's more of a Furiosa vibe.
Oh, nice. Well done there. Well done. Um, yeah, and good pickup too. Like, yeah, we've always said that we're really into anything that it builds a world. So Mad Max, there's a great world there, and full of character, full of rich lore. But yeah, this is definitely a prequel to the last album, and it's about the dawn of the Exultants and the hunt for the shepherd. Is basically what it's about. Um,
You wouldn't believe it.
the Exultants were like these mechanical creatures that end up creating the motor steeple. One of them turns, and then they need to find Jesus's long lost brother. So, and he turns into some golden god who ends up driving the motor steeple.
With these ideas that come together for the album, uh, is it like, or the albums, is it something that you developed over a period of time, or is it just something that you made up to waste time while you're flying all the way to Australia for band practice?
um, no, they come. They feel like they come pretty quickly once we have the premise of the thing. Like, I feel like most of the lyrics for this record were written in the studio while we were there. Like, we maybe had 40% of the lyrics going into it, and then the other 60 came from just this like hyper intense environment where you're so in the story. So it was really easy for Sam, who's our singer, to like just become. He's like gets hyper focused on this anything really, but when he's hyper focused on the right thing, it's fantastic for us.
If you couldn't tell from if you've seen a show or anything, we're not the most neurotypical people. So the a lot of the like process of recording the album was we'd all split off into these different areas of the studio we were working in. So Sam was locked in this weird kind of like
Corridory thing.
corridor sound booth with his laptop, and we just pretty much like locked the door from the outside and told him to world build. And then some of us would be in the main recording area doing fussing over drums, and we spend all this time thinking about like the time feel of songs. And then Benny, the other guitarist, would be sitting in like the lobby of the studio just like locking in for like 5 hours on one guitar solo and just like stewing on that and making that work. So yeah, you mentioned like the hyper creative environment. Like it was really fascinating. I think we kind of delved super far into that for this record of like splitting off and doing our own particular hyper focuses kind of separately but together.
That was pretty cool seeing how, or when you do come back together in the room, how all of these disparate ideas basically come
Mm.
together to forge the whole.
Yeah, totally. Or otherwise, and everyone says, "No, that sucks, dude. What have you been doing for 5 hours?"
Just
It
burning
does
my life
happen.
apparently.
Yeah.
So the album is out soon on the 6th of June. Did you choose to release it in that month just so it would rhyme when I said that?
No, but that's a really good point. It is because it is the sixth of the sixth, and if you are, into your metal, then those numbers will make sense. But last year we released it on the darkest, on the winter solstice, so that's a bit spooky. And this year is on the sixth of the sixth. Shame it's not 2026, sadly.
Well, yeah, you able to pick a specific time, say 6 a.m.?
It's yeah, or at 6:66. Yeah. Oh, 7:06. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do
Yeah.
it.
No, unfortunately, it's available. It'll be available worldwide at what is it? It comes out. I think it's available just whenever your time zone reaches midnight.
Just clicks over and it's release day.
Exactly. Have fun.
I'll make sure not to play it until at least 7:06 myself.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Love
Appreciate
that.
that.
Yeah,
Attention to detail.
get the full effect out of it.
Yeah.
Now, you've also put out a couple of music videos in lead up to the release so far. Music videos that could probably do with some unpacking.
Got unpack away.
So the first one was for the Fathers of Iron Flesh. My cliff notes for that one were green guy, blood and humping things. Now he's white.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much sums it up quite well, I think. Yeah, we can move on to the next one if you feel like I feel like that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, no further needs to elaborate on that.
No. I think the premise of that was like, oh, well, we've always thought let's do like a day in the life of this goblin character who is kind of reoccurring for us for some reason. Don't know. And so we thought let's do that, and then I thought let's put some classic Australian iconography in there. So we went to the Opera House, we went to Bondi Beach, we went to a few other places. I think that the courts we went to, the National Gallery. So there's lots of, it's very Australiana, but also mixed in with our law, which is kind of like Mad Maxy.
And proceeded to hump them and get blood on it.
Exactly. Well, more blood is more. Yeah.
All right, and then you've got the complete horror show that was Murder Machine.
Oh, fuck, dude.
My clip notes for that one.
That was the process.
A hoarder's hellhole, force feeding dolls, budget blown on alfoil.
Yeah. Literally. No, I think we went over budget on the alfoil. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, just the quick one with that was that we had actually. This is a true story as well. We had actually filmed an entire music video, like a proper one. Not that that's not a proper one, but like we had pigs' heads, we had explosions, we had all these special effects, all this crazy stuff, and more than just one character in the music video. And then our dear friend Mia, an amazing artist and director, she filmed it all on tape, so it gives it some really nice feeling. However, she then proceeded to film over our music video with footage of her friend's wedding, and it's been lost. It's lost forever. And so we had to do some like quick thing, and they found it abandoned house, jumped in there, recorded whatever was in there. Everything that was in there was just there, like all these cans of baked beans, and it's fucking gross.
Yeah, I was gonna ask whether that was a set you put together, or was just purely that's how you found it.
It would take 30 years to put that set together, I think.
30 years, a lot of bad choices.
Yeah, and unused lamb TV dinners.
Dude, it's so fucking gross. It's so gross. They had to go get tetanus shots afterwards.
Yeah, I noticed there's like some shots where the murder machine's wearing gloves. Request.
Well, we care about safety. We've got OH&S issues there, so we had to put on some gloves.
Yeah, murder machines have standards, hey?
Yeah, of course. This is the future or the past. When does this happen?
So with the future and the past and when is this happening? With the overall narrative of the story, do the clips in any way feed into that, or are they just their own self-contained machinations off the side?
Yeah,
Can
they're
you make
definitely
them fit in?
self-contained. They're definitely self-contained for sure. For sure, self-contained, but still, like, I believe that this goblin exists within the world, so it's still like a nice little Easter egg. Someday, it'll all make sense. It'll all come together.
Yeah.
With it all coming together, uh, in the post-apocalyptic world, he'd have to have his own doomsday bunker or somewhere to nestle down. In the world that you have envisioned for these albums, where would your doomsday bunkers be? How would you kit them out?
Oh, nice. Mine would definitely be
That's
a
an interesting
castle.
question.
Mine would be a castle, and I don't need a bunker because I'm like a cockroach. Nothing can kill me.
You
So I don't
wish.
need a bunker. I just live in a castle.
Just bask in that radiation.
Yeah, bro. That's actually where I get my power from. I'm like a big battery. Dan, what about you? What's in your bunker?
I don't know. The joke within the band is that I'm a robot, so similar kind of vibe. Like,
True.
if I'm made of steel, then like some form of weird artificial intelligence or something, then I don't know, I'll just kind of hang out. I don't need anything.
A factory. That's your bunker.
Warehouse, yeah.
Spare
Awesome.
parts forever.
240 power, and then I'm sweet. Something like that.
Well, it sounds like you guys are sorted. What about any survival tips for the rest of us?
Survival tips for the apocalypse. Definitely. I mean, I wouldn't rely on us for survival tips at
No,
all. Yeah, definitely barking up the wrong tree there. You should see how we live on tour. I think that's like apocalyptic living.
we're just storytellers. We are not survivalists.
Well, aside from the murder machine's penchant for beans, what are your personal favorite things to eat out of cans?
Oh, Dan, you've got one.
Oh,
I know you've got some
do I?
prawns.
Out of cans?
Yeah, canned prawns.
No, absolutely no. God, who do you think I am? Jesus.
Vicious rumors.
Things to eat out of cans. Yeah, they are vicious. I can't say I eat out of cans a lot.
Really? Canned
Elliot,
tomatoes, cannellini beans. Come on now.
no,
Really?
Have you
no.
ever been down an aisle in the supermarket? You must have seen something.
No,
Oh,
Dan.
I've seen them, but I don't consume them on a regular basis. I
As
mean, it
as we've
sounds like
discussed,
you
he doesn't need
eat a
food.
whole bunch of. True. Yeah, true. Sorry, I forgot. It's my fantasies of humanity. I would love to eat canned food, but I can't. Um, oh Christ.
Maybe we just got an
Well,
oil
apparently
can.
you
Maybe an
eat
oil
cannellini
can
beans.
will
Oil can,
be
an
the
oil
option.
Yeah,
can.
there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, perfect.
keep you nice and lubricated.
Yeah, perfect.
Keeping on with the post-apocalyptic theme, surviving in the post-apocalypse, would you guys be interested in rebuilding society, or would you have just been happy to have seen it burn?
I think that's
Ooh.
another thing. You wouldn't trust us with rebuilding it either. I think it's better off
Do
just
we
letting it burn.
is this a question of we rebuild humanity or we sustain hope for the rebuilding of humanity?
You could interpret however you wish, I suppose. You could just be ambivalent to the whole thing.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's like a really dangerous thing to get us to do that. That's like the dumbest idea anybody could have. It's literally better off not doing that. Just letting it be.
Yeah,
Yep.
just decompose. Yeah, we're positive people though. Like if someone else wants to do it, all fucking power to them. We're right behind with any moral support you could possibly imagine. But yeah, don't rely on us.
And to be honest, I probably couldn't help myself. I'd probably just do it. I'm a bit of it, bit like that. I'd be like, nah, nah, don't worry, won't worry about it
Yeah,
now, man. I go, oh, fuck it, fine, I'll do it.
Yeah, this band wouldn't be many places without Elliott, to be fair.
You could just do it to yourself. Fine, I'll do it.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's like everything that I do in this band. It's like, fucking fine, I'll do it.
That's the attitude. So the band, Battlesnake, it's a cool name, but were there any runner-ups like maybe Conflict Lizard or perhaps Fight Salamander?
Okay. See what we've done there. Very, very well done. Very well done. Whether I don't know, this was before my time. I came in a bit
There wasn't.
No.
There was never any other name. The name came from a friend of Benny and I kind of formed Benny's the other guitar player. We formed the band in, I don't know if you're aware of the rock club Frankie's in Sydney.
Pizzas by the Slice?
That's the one,
Yeah.
baby.
So we were hanging out there one night, and I can't remember the band we saw, but we saw a really great rock band. And Benny just looked at me and said, I feel like we should just make the dumbest 3-guitar rock band imaginable. And I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? Could be fun. And then he was driving in his car with a friend listening to King Gizzard's Rattlesnake. And the friend said, oh, are they saying Battlesnake? And Benny was like, that's it. That's the name. Like, there is no other name that could possibly be better than that. And that was the name from day one. I can't remember if that was before we decided to form the band or if that was after. But that was always the name.
Except no substitutes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when you
Pretty
have
much, yeah.
when you have something so perfect,
If it's right, it's right.
Yeah.
In its crystallized purest essence. Well, we're about there for time, gang. So to get back to the more serious side of the interview stuff, album about to drop, tour about to start.
Mate, crazy. Yeah, so I'm up on the 6th of June and then starting a 2.5 month tour on the 7th of June. Fuck.
It's coming up quick. So you're playing some pretty huge shows in Europe and throughout. And then you're also going to be doing some shows with the Eagles of Death Metal. Are you at all scared about the potential conflicts between eagles and snakes?
Oh, no. I'm excited about that. That's going to be good. But equally, like, quite a daunting task, that being our first show. Our first show is with Eagles of Death Metal in Hamburg in some fucking massive room. It's going to be crazy.
Well, you're just going to make sure that you slither fast and find a good rock to hide under before the eagle comes get you.
Wow. It's all sage advice from you. Sage advice.
Yeah. Clever man.
I appreciate it. Well, you've got my Zoom link now, so whenever you need, just feel free to hit me up.
You're always here, are you? You're always on your Zoom link?
Oh, totally. Yeah. Just
God bless.
Just send me some cash through PayPal. I'll be here whenever.
Perfect. All right, mate. Hey, well, thanks for having us today.
Yeah, absolute pleasure.
Much appreciated.
Really fun talking to you guys. And yeah, have an amazing time on tour. And I can't wait till 7:06 on the 6th of the 6th.
Good on you, mate. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon, eh?
All right,
Thank you,
take
mate.
care,
All
gang.
the best.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.